The conversation feature within Teams is exceptional. It's very effective and it allows you to connect with your peers within Teams instantly. If you imagine where we were before Teams, a lot of conversations was done using email. So you would send an email to, if you needed to share some information with several people, you'd add them all to that email group. You'd send the email out, wait for the response, go back and you'd be going back and forth as you converse around the topic using email. And if you imagine if you multiply that by 50 because you got 50 projects, and then 2 weeks later you need to see who said what on a particular date, that would be really challenging, almost like needle in a haystack scenario. The great thing about Teams is that it's that one-stop shop where where all the conversations specific to that team are accessible within that team. The audit, you can see historic conversations that took place by going through the audit trail, and it's just great. It's a great way to trace and be up to speed with what was said by who, when. Now, using Teams, you can have conversations with members within your team and also with other individuals who aren't within your team but have got access to Teams. I'll start with the first scenario. So if you recall, continuing with our case study of the human resources team, so created the team. I've got a couple of members in that team and I now want to have a general conversation with them. What you need to simply do is you go to the team, click on new conversation, then you can start the conversation. Now, once I start anything I type here, after I type and I click on the little paper airplane icon, that's send, then all the members of the team would get this notification, would get this message. So if I'll just say something like, "Hi everyone," and I send, and if you recall, Thomas Edison is within my team and I also have an external user. So if I just type "Hi everyone," click on send, then I'll wait for Thomas to reply. And he should be replying soon. And there you have it. So Thomas has replied. So you can see the notification I get on the bottom right informing me that a team member has replied, and of course it's also there visible. Now, as you can see, apart from just simple text, there's a lot of formatting I can do. So if I clicked on the format editor, it brings up this new interface. So it allows me to put text in bold, like "Great job." I can highlight that. I can put it in bold. I can put it in italics. Next week. Just typing any old text here just for you to see the formatting capabilities that comes with the conversation feature in Teams. So you can see I've got it in italics. I can underline it, strike through, and so on. I can also put things in paragraphs. I can do a second paragraph, or I can make it a heading. You can insert a table. I can make it important. So if I clicked here, I could say this is an important message I need to send out. And I can also undo and redo. So that the format editor is quite good. If I didn't want anything, I can also just delete it, discard. Just going back to the options I have, I could also attach a document, put a smiley for an emoji, schedule a meeting. So if I wanted to schedule a meeting with my members in this team, I can just click on schedule a meeting. What that will do will bring up the meeting interface. We'll touch on meetings a bit later on in this course, but just to show you the capabilities within the chat, the type of things you can do. If I just go back to the conversation and click on reply, so I can reply to Thomas saying "Great job" again. he will get my notification. If I want to start, I can also click on start a new conversation. If I want to start something completely different, so not I'm continuing from, I don't want to talk about what I was saying earlier on. I just want to start a new trail of conversation, a new topic, I should say. Then that's what I would do. Just click on start a new conversation, and there it is. One thing I also want to mention is the feature you can see. It's called @mention. So what that does, if I was to do @Thomas, for example, firstly, when I do it will list the people I can do @mention to. What @mention does is it specifically notifies an individual that they have been mentioned within a conversation. So if I was to say @Thomas, we need the reports soon, please. So what will happen is that Thomas would get a notification that he's been specifically mentioned in a conversation within a team. All the other individuals within that team wouldn't get that specific notification. So it's a great way to kind of single out an individual if they need to see, if they need to be notified of to do something. The @mention is really good for that. So all this conversation I've been showing you up to now is the conversation that takes place with individuals within the same team. But of course, with teams, you're not just restricted to having conversations with your team members. You can also have a conversation with any other individual who has got that Microsoft Teams account within your organization. So to do that, you would just simply click on chat and then click on the new chat icon next to you, as you can see. Then you just simply enter the name of the individual. So if I was to say someone like Dave, now I know this individual is not in the HR team that I created earlier on, but I want to have that conversation with him. So I can just type his name and it appears there. I can have a conversation with more than one person. So I can add Tom, for example. So two people I'm having that conversation with. And then again, the functionality is pretty much as I showed you earlier on in the video, where I can start typing away. I can format my conversation. I can select the delivery option, whether it's important or standard or urgent. You'll notice for urgent, the recipient is notified every 2 minutes for 20 minutes. So if it's something you really want someone to know about, then the urgent flag is what you would use, and so on. So the difference here is that over here, I'm having a conversation with individuals on teams who are not in a specific team. You know, these Dave and Tom, they're not in the HR team, but they've got a Teams account, and so I can have that conversation with them. So it's a great thing. It's a great feature it's a great thing to know that you can have that conversation with individuals within teams, within your team, or external to your team. Thank you.